Hey, are you ready? Welcome to the Say Michael podcast. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Say Michael podcast, one man's attempt at business, family, and comedy. I am your host, Michael Agbajan, and before we introduce to the 46th episode, let's give a shout out to producer Simeon. What's good?
What's good? What's good? How's everybody living?
How you feeling though?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
Man, that's a hard question when someone's like, hey, tell me something good. What do you say when someone says, tell me something good?
I'm living.
That's a good answer. I'm living. That's quick. But yeah, we're here. What is it? Number 46, number Joe Biden.
That Joe Biden episode.
You know what I'm saying? And we feeling good because, before we continue, I wanted to let you know, if you're listening to this podcast on your iPhone or your Android, give a snapshot and tag me on IG at SayMichael, SayMichael. So give a tag real quick. But I hope you enjoyed the conversation I had with Eric last week. A lot of people gave me good feedback about it. They enjoyed it. They thought it was very helpful to their own personal needs. We're talking about Airbnb and his transition and trying to get into like the real estate business and, you know, where he could start and just like first steps. So if you haven't got a chance to check that out, that last episode, me and Eric, was a good one. But since we're talking about Airbnb, you know, recently in the news, they surpassed and beat expectations in their third quarter earnings. Like they made $130 million profit. And the thing about it is that when the whole pandemic and everything started, it was like going down. People were like, oh man, like what's going to happen to Airbnb? But I guess they adjusted and they said that more people are using their homes and like their platform for like refuge during the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, and now people are like going even heavier and heavier into real estate now more than ever. You know, so, and I say this about Airbnb because they're actually going to go public. So they're actually, and by going public, their IPO is going to be in the next like couple weeks. It's going to be your opportunity to invest in this company. And I would say whatever you got and whatever you are looking into as far as when you want to like invest in, this is a number one stock. This right here, people have been waiting for. It reminds me of like Facebook. When Facebook dropped, like people wouldn't want to really buy their stock because they're like, Facebook's not even profitable yet, you know? Yeah. And their stock opened for like, I think it opened for like $34. I think now it's like almost up to like $200. You know what I mean? And the same thing with like Snapchat. Theirs open for like $5, $6. And people are like, oh, they're not profitable. They don't know how to make money yet and all this. And then now you look at Snapchat, it's like $42 a share. You know, so you're looking like at 10 times earnings. So like whatever Airbnb opens up to, I would advise you to like tap in before that opportunity goes because it will soar.
Yeah, man. I'm about to tap into that stock, the Airbnb stock, man. That's where it's at.
Even I think Robinhood is considering going public, but I don't know how that's going to work when they are the stock exchange themselves, you know?
How about Clubhouse?
No, not anytime soon. You know, they still got Clubhouse has a while to go. Before and
but it's getting there though. It's getting there.
It's getting there. It's going quick. They even stopped funding. There's a place called let me open it so y'all could have you been on? What do you think about not Facebook, Clubhouse so far?
I like it. You know, there's some toxic stuff in there, but
what is it? What's toxic? What are you seeing?
Like what I told you earlier about like the rooms and the horse cups and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I was going to tell y'all, like, if y'all are trying to, like, become investors, even small investors, this is for you, too, is that something called Start Engine. You heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, Start Engine, it's like a crowdfunding, basically, but it allows you to, like, actually invest and have shares and certificates from, like, small businesses. So you might see one that is doing, like, propellers for, like, planes or might be doing, solar-powered tractors or something like that, and you can invest $200, $300 and get actual shares of this company. The one that just went big on there was Fanbase, and it's basically a platform where you could, get on and get paid for your content, basically. because they do it where you have, subscribers and then you have followers. I don't know what it's, I don't see, I didn't invest in it. I did not invest in it, but I don't really know if I believe in the type of platform it is, because, OnlyFans is obviously subscribers, right?
Yeah. So
they want to see like whatever it is that, because they're your only real fan. But then fan base is like, okay, if you're doing content and people are like paying to just like watch your content, I don't know, because I feel like that's part of like making content and it going viral is having a huge market of people available to see it and spread it to another. But if I'm paying to see someone like dance, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like spread that. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like a little bit odd.
Yeah, it sounds odd. Like, like why would I subscribe to a person who makes content? You know what I mean? Like, and then how will that spread? Because part of the what makes, content amazing is that when it's natural and it's, like easy to consume and you share it with your friends and they share it and they share it. But if it's on a platform that has like, 25 subscribers on your account, I don't see how you could ever go viral unless someone's like, oh, this is good, good job. And who are they going to spread it to? I don't know.
Yeah, probably the local consumers, but.
Yeah, but we could all be investors, because I feel like that is what's keeping us from growing having the capital that's needed to like maximize our own personal community. It's like you could save, that's good, but you must take a portion of what you save and actually invest it, because it's like it's a dual pronged type of approach, like you have to have both savings and you have to have your investments, and it kind of like, even when I like rationalize all of that, right? Like a few days ago for the first time, like wrote down like my actual goal, not only for like myself, but for like my business and what I do. But I wrote down 10 billion, right? And it's my first time actually writing 10 billion. And the first thing I saw when I finished, and I was like, wow, like, damn, like that's a lot of zeros. You know what I mean? And my wife Bly, I was like, hey, look, like, she's like, wow, that's like a lot of zeros. I'm like, yeah. And, it kind of refined my thinking. I was really proud of that moment because look, I've always said that whatever I ask for, I'll always receive. I always receive because, and here's what I learned from that with the patients is that I felt that one time I said, I want to like save like 50,000, right? And I said, I want to save it in 3 months and doing all these different things. And eventually it wasn't happening. It was getting to a moment where I'm like, all right, this goal, this whole put into the universe thing is not really what I thought it was. You know what I mean? Because things weren't happening correctly and I'm pushing to eventually where I'm not even looking at the number 50,000 that I wrote down because I was just kind of feeling so guilty about it, But then later on, much later, I realized that, it did happen, but not in the time that I wanted it to happen, Like God will put it in your hands, but not on your time, it'd be on his time. And that's kind of what I had to learn about that, Facts. Yeah, like for me to think that, oh, it needs to happen in 2 months. This is how I'll put into the universe and all this. But really, you still get what you asked for, but it just might not be in the time that you set it up for. It's going to be in time,
Might be early, might be later.
Yeah, it might be early, might be later, but you got to be patient enough to understand that it's going to happen. I always say that about things like, you'll get yours in the end. And that's a good, bad, and the ugly, that some people feel like they've been cheated all their life. But if you've been doing good most of your life, or at least, like being intentional, you'll get everything that you were owed, that you feel like you're owed in the end, because you don't know how successful you are until the end. Some people call it early and already call themselves successes. Like, T.I. calling himself the king of the South. Come on now,
Nah. No way.
Yeah, some people do stuff like that, like, oh, I'm this now, and try to act the part, the whole fake it till you make it. And to me, that's not the way you make it. I feel like the way to make it is the first way is just like making sure like you're first to give. Like a lot of people are out there trying to ask, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that for me? But like, you need to be the first to give. How can you help somebody? How can you give value to somebody before you even ask anything, And that's how you grow, And for me saying like 10 billion is not just for me so I could have power and, and income, is that if you want to have like be impactful and have the money to give, and to make a difference, like politically and financially and all that, I'm not the only person who needs to become a billionaire. Like we need several in this community for us to finally start seeing some of the equity that people say that we've been missing out on, you know? So I made a really scary goal, you know, looking at that number. Cause look, it started with 1 million, you know, a while back. I was like, all right, 1 million. And then, cause I was like, I want to see 1 million cash, right? Then I said, nah, if I could ask for 1 million, I could do 10. And then sometime in the last 2 years, you know, I started like thinking about like the $1 billion mark. Cause I'm like, you know, Warren Buffett eats McDonald's every day, you know what I mean? And, you know, he's worth more than 100 billion, you know? Yeah. And not to say that that has any like type of correlation. I'm just saying that he's normal, you know, like Jeff Bezos is normal. There's nothing like weird or different about them, except for the fact that they were very intentional. And that's what changed with me is that, all right, when I said the scary number of like 10 billion, I started to realize what people meant by like focus on the main thing. And, you know, it's more about the fact that you don't have to stop anything else you're doing. It's just to have the main thing be focused. I looked at it like, all right, if I'm going to become a billionaire, it's not going to be off like stand-up comedy right now, right?
Yeah.
I said, it's not going to be off of just me talking on a podcast right now. You know, like the Water Boys were scaling to not only like all of Texas, but to all of the nation to eventually go worldwide. Because what I'm doing here can work in Nigeria. What I'm doing here can work in China. And I'm like, so that became like my main focus. I'm like, oh, okay, building the brand of the Water Boys and the change I need to make. And that led to me saying, okay, I need to hire an executive assistant so I could get more help, because you're not going to get to these huge goals by yourself. You're just not. You have to go with a team. And I'm looking to build this team. And the first thing I'm going to let them know is my vision. You know, like if it's too intimidating, like yesterday I was talking to the app guy, right? And again, this is part of the whole refining my focus. I was talking to the app guy who's going to create our app. Well, potentially he may be doing it, but I told him about like my goal of like 10 billion, and he got real nervous. You know, he was like, whoa, that's like a big number. You said that like it was nothing.
Do you think that he was intimidated by that? I
think 10 billion is intimidating. It's a very intimidating number because, you know, most people talk about how to get rich, you know? Yeah. But, you know, when you talk about how to get rich, people think about like doing, like having a G-Wagon and having a nice crib, you know?
Range Rover.
Yeah, having a Range Rover.
I put the top of the Maybach.
Yeah, that's what people think of, right? You know, but when it comes to like real wealth, like generational wealth, or like wealth to actually make impact and make changes and be like a mover and shaker, you're talking about billions, and no one really talks billions. You know, I even had to tell my like a few close compadres, you know, I had to tell them like, hey, no more small talk. You know, like I get it. You want to build your brand and all that. But, you know, when you're, you know, have me on the phone because you have a shirt idea, that's something you could do personally. You know what I mean? Like you can still put that out, but then also we got to talk about the big things, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done, you know? And if we're not going to get there, you know, if we're talking about like the small things, we got to look at the big picture of where we're trying to go. But I always say, yeah, like, you know, like you have to be the first to give, you have to refine your focus, and you have to be intentional. Like that's important to you, like reaching your goal. And that's why I always tell people like, it's very important to be like present. I mean, a few weeks ago, I would tell people about who's in the like culinary arts or, you know, doing like catering. I would say, hey, you need to get into like doing your own like virtual kitchen. Like right now they have what they call virtual eateries. They say your favorite restaurant might not even be a restaurant. And now you're talking about what, late November 2020. I'm talking about this during late spring, as far as people get into like virtual kitchens. And, you know, some people are like, oh yeah, it seems like an idea, but now it's starting to be like really gain like a lot of momentum and fire. I'm like, you need to get in on this, because you could start your own, you know, cheesecake factory for less than $2,000. Like you could start it. And why wouldn't you? These opportunities are here now. Like that's the thing about compound interest. You know what compound interest is?
Can you elaborate on that? Like
if you invest $1 today, it turns into $2, and then that $2 turns into $4. That $4 turns into $8. That $8 turns into, you see what I'm saying? It keeps multiplying. So then after about 20 years, that $1 turned into like $1,000. You see what I'm saying? Based on compound interest, because every time you gain from that dollar or whatever you put in, it keeps multiplying throughout the years, right? Well, the same compound interest goes for like personal growth. You know, all the work you put in now, like when it comes to reading and understanding and like understanding the trends and what you're on earlier before like other people are on it, like investing in those things and getting in on it early before like the water's warm. You know, everyone wants to wait till the water's warm, but like sometimes you got to jump in cold and just take that risk, because the risk that you take, especially if it's calculated and intentional, in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, the amount of growth that you will see from it, the branches that will grow from that tree are unfathomable. Like you don't even know, like that's why I say start. You know, a lot of people say you got to be, one woman, you know, who's she's like a business leader. She was talking about, oh, some people don't have like their business plan together and this, that. Like, yeah, you know, having a business plan, like it's sufficient, but it's not required. You don't have to have a business plan to start. You could just start. And by start, I'm talking about small. So, you know, this is the time where like people are just changing over, like Walmart, when everyone was counting them out when it comes to Amazon, you know, like people are like, oh, Walmart's going to lose to Amazon because Amazon taking over. Well, Walmart adjusted, you know, they started like investing into their e-commerce. And then next, you know, this last quarter, their like e-commerce sales soar like 79%. Like they're huge, you know? So you can't, I'm just saying, you can't like not bet on yourself when it comes to like making a move and trying to take yourself to the next level, because there's just a lot of things going on, you know? And hopefully, like there's a time where I was helping like people around me when it comes to like getting PPP loans. I hope they're doing well, because I mean, you hear about the news with what's happening with the PPP.
Oh yeah, so I think they got like a small piece of that. Like,
nah, it's right now. What's happening is that a lot of the companies, like 300 companies, that
the Fortune 300 companies, right?
I'm not sure if they're Fortune 300, but you know, a lot of like small businesses and large companies, but more small businesses that got PPP loans, they actually filed for bankruptcy.
Oh,
yeah. So it's you know, it's weird because there's like a debate. They're saying like, oh, you know, like you shouldn't have gave the money to the businesses. You should have given to the people, right? Mm-hmm. And what is your opinion on that? What do you think about that when they give such big chunks of money to like the people? Do you feel some type of way as a citizen or anything?
To a fault, but I mean, at the same time, I can't really get mad at that though. It is what it is.
Yeah, because I feel like businesses are the ones employing people, but in these cases, they said the businesses are defending it, saying like, "Hey, the PPP wasn't enough; it didn't come on time." And I must agree, you know, like it was a good try, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing about bankruptcy or any type of like business closing is that at the end of the day, it's not really closed, because you could just really restart another business, rebrand, or have a new brand that's really pretty much similar to what you did before. So it's not like so much of a death. It's more of like a restart, you know? So a lot of these businesses, if they are true business people, will just start something else, start something new. Because look, I always had this thought when it comes to like, you know, when people talk about endangered species.
Yeah.
So people say, oh man, due to like climate change and all this stuff that's happening with like endangered species, like, oh man, like we're losing some of our ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
So then I Googled and I said, how many new species are coming in every year? And to see that we're losing like, I think it was like 4,000 species, but it says every year we have like 2,500 new species coming in.
So where are they coming from?
You see what I'm saying? Like, I know my point was that, you know, when people said, oh, something's being destroyed, but then don't forget that something's also being created at the same time. You know, like if something goes bankrupt, yeah, it's going bankrupt, it's going to go away. But then also something's being created at the same time. These people are actually creating other things. Like this is somewhat of a good failure. You know what I mean? Like it's good to fail or go bankrupt if that's really the last thing you have to do, because then you're going to say, okay, what do I need to do going forward? But, you know, I just hope, because, you know, those small businesses, they hired like 25,000 people, you know, so they're gone. And like right now, people are like going through like long-term unemployment. Like some people haven't worked since like February.
March.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know.
But they better hope this lockdown to like come in. So
this lockdown, you ready for that lockdown?
Money, though,
well, you know, it's really wrong, because think about it, like, you know, imagine how much you pay in taxes. Like think about how much you pay in taxes, and during this whole pandemic, we're going on a year into this pandemic, and so far they gave the citizens $1,200 and a good luck, right? So then you think, where are the taxes going? The taxes are going towards huge salaries, right? And weapons. That's really all that we. That's it. Yeah, that's where we spend our money, but it's not going back to the people. So you got to really question, like, where your taxes are going, or like what's the use of our taxes, period. Because they're taking out huge chunks out of your actual labor, actual creation, and then you're looking at the fact that, okay, in the time of a crisis, what do they do to help? What did they do at all? And that $1,200 and a good luck is not enough.
It's not enough, bro. And I know people that blew through that $1,200 really quick. So it's like,
well, I had an employee who bought new rims, so.
No, but hey, not everybody values money the same.
Yeah, that's true.
So, hey, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's on you.
That's why I said, like, if you're spending more than you're investing or saving, you got to look in the mirror. There's a problem going on, and you got to just kind of reevaluate how you use your time and your energy. But right now, we're actually kind of going through like a resurge of cases with COVID.
Dark December.
You think it's gonna be a dark December?
I bet you by the time we do another podcast in mid-December, I'll get back to me with that, and I say, "Told you so."
Oh man! So what is it? So mid-December, you're saying?
Between mid and late December.
Man,
it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, because right now, even we're kind of reevaluating how are we gonna do Thanksgiving? Like how? What are you thinking?
All right, so here's the thing. So if Thanksgiving is going to be what I think it's going to be, like, I'm getting tickets to see the Cowboys play next.
You got to say, who are they playing?
Playing the let me get this right. The Washington football team.
Oh, because they changed it. Yeah,
changed the name. So I'm like, man, it's like, listen, like, you know what I'm saying? We always visit our cousins for however long I've been alive. So
yeah, since he's been born.
So like for COVID to break this tradition, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I cannot stay in the house like on Thanksgiving, bro.
You can't take to stay in the house?
I just can't do it. On a national holiday, I want to see family, bro, and you know what I'm saying, and turn up.
How about like Christmas? What do you think that's going to be like?
Probably the same thing, but.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
Yeah, I know there's no answers, and that's the worst part. And I say, look, I already know that in this case, like, there's two levels of thinking on this. You could say, okay, it's not safe, let's not do it. And I'm the type of thinking that says, I'm going to do it, but how do I do it safely? So I'm looking about like how we can all get together in a safe way without having any type of like weirdness,
Yeah, I mean, I understand it because, my parents are essential workers, so you don't want to bring that mess there. But it's like this alternative ways, wear your mask.
Yeah, wear a mask.
Have sanitizer on deck. Mm-hmm. Wash your hands.
Not be all up on people, because I feel like, am I wrong? Am I think that it's kind of not common sense, but like somewhat common to like sense to like not get sick. Like when someone's sick, or when someone like, especially in a time during an epidemic or pandemic, you're not gonna be all up on people, talking in their face, doing stuff like that.
Yeah, that's too risky.
Yeah, so I feel like how not to get sick right now if you take these type of precautions. The only time where like alcohol gets in your system, or you start getting all comfortable, rip off the mask, laughing, wrestling. You know what I mean? It's
get a little too comfy.
Yeah, for real. So I feel like, and then, this is some weird news. I don't even know I even mentioned it, but it popped in my head. Okay, there's a white giraffe, the only white giraffe on this earth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and they put a tracker in it because they said poachers are all like going after it.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know how those indigenous people get.
Yeah, like a white giraffe. It's like they said the one white giraffe in the world, they have to put all these trackers on because they said poachers are like out for it. Like they want it badly.
They ready, bro.
Yeah, and I know
how they are firsthand.
Yeah, so it is weird because me and my wife were talking about last time about the ivory trade. Because she's potentially would like to call our daughter Ivory. So I was like, man, Ivory has such a like dark past when it comes to like the usage. Like when you think of the word ivory, what do you think of?
I don't know, probably like an old white lady or something.
Yeah. I think when I hear ivory.
No, I'll take that back. I'll say like ivory, probably like an old black lady.
Old black lady? Yeah. Okay. When I hear the word ivory, I think about them killing elephants for their tusk so they can make ivory piano keys.
And also the color too. I think it's a color. It's a crown called ivory. I don't know.
So that's what you think of?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she said that. Yeah. But either way, we're actually about to have a really good conversation with me and my wife. As you know, me, myself, and Bly always go in. Like, look, I missed her on this one because I'm like, last week we had Eric, and I was like, man, like when she comes on, she's gonna hop on like nothing. But she was like, man, I really want to get on the podcast and start talking again. And you're gonna enjoy this one. It's always good. An hour of juicy, good stuff. Anything you want to say to the people?
I don't have anything to say per se, but like I said, the usual: stay masked up, hand sanitized. If you do plan on having on Thanksgiving, do it. Think it thoroughly and think it wisely. Yeah.
Be safe. Because by the time this next episode comes out, it's gonna be Thanksgiving or.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, next week. So, this one girl was talking about she may potentially be going to a wedding with 200 people indoors. It cut it down from like 400, and they're like, people are like, whoa, that's like a super spreader event,
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, but hopefully everyone stays safe. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Get some peas, greens, potatoes.
Turkey,
get it all.
Pie,
pumpkin pie. Are you pecan? Are you pecan pie, pumpkin pie, or sweet potato pie?
Pumpkin, bro.
Okay, I'm pumpkin.
Pumpkin, because I remember when I think it was one Thanksgiving we actually stayed over because my little brother was getting delivered. So I think your mom had brought out some pumpkin pie, and I loved it ever since.
Oh, that's live. Wow. Well, I'm big on pecan pie. Like, I used to call it pecan pie or pecan pie, but I already always get checked every time I say pecan. But either way, let me not delay. Enjoy this conversation with me and my wife. Me, myself, and Bly. Check y'all later. See y'all. Peace.
Stay safe.
What up?
What it do? What it do?
What it is?
Hey, did y'all miss me?
I think everybody missed you.
For real, you think so?
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody missed you.
I had to take a little break, y'all.
Yeah, it was funny when you get used to certain things, and you like, I hope I didn't take it for granted.
Oh my God.
One episode without you was fun, but it wasn't the same.
Oh, so you missed me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, because our chemistry is different when we talk.
That is true.
The cloth talk is different between us.
I cannot.
How are you feeling?
I missed the podcast too. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. I know I missed it last week, but
yeah,
you had a special guest, so that was super duper cool.
I liked it. Yeah, that was really great with Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now me and Eric are like hitting up each other like daily. Like he's hitting me up updates. Telling me like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I think what it is with him, just like with a lot of people, is the accountability.
Exactly.
That's like the word of the week. Everybody, like I even one guy at the daycare, he's doing this like event or something like, not event, but like I don't know what you call it, like okay, on Instagram he's saying I'm gonna put up art for 100 days straight. Oh,
so every day he's gonna do something different.
Yeah, do something different.
That's cool.
And he's saying it's just so hard to create. That's what he's saying. It's like it's so hard because he's like a photographer or something like that. He's like, it's so hard to create, and I just want to just be. He's trying to think of the word. I'm like accountable. It's like accountable. That's what I need. I need to be accountable. It's hard to hold myself accountable, and I'm hoping these like 100 days every day I could people could keep me accountable. You know what I mean?
That's true. I could see that because you know who holds me accountable?
Who?
You.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is, a lot of times you don't even say anything. It's just that the fact that I started something, I told you about it, and it's like I have to continue doing it because I know that I voiced it to you. So you basically keep me accountable.
That's a better way.
Yeah, I know. I'm good with it though.
Yeah, I think people love accountability. It does hurt a little bit because you feel guilty. You know?
Of course. When I want to take a nap when I'm supposed to be working on my pallets.
But we see that changes every day because, sometimes it is about the nap. Sometimes it's like push through.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, I said this on Twitter about how I can no longer like apologize for like being busy because like there's so much work that needs to be done.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
true.
not gonna glorify being busy,
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? But for myself, I like being busy. And some people look at busy as like just doing stuff. I'm like, no, productivity. When
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
productive, it's different when you have like things on your list. Like I got to go do this with the kids. I got to go do this with my wife. I got to do this with the
Right,
business. I got to
right.
go do this for myself, you know? So I feel like that is where I'm at, you know?
Yeah.
So
And I'm like the opposite now.
that's why we yin yang.
But it's crazy because I'm always like the busy one, always trying to stay busy, trying to, do stuff. But these past few off days that I've had, I've been just like real chill, just kind of like enjoying quiet moments because I don't get that a lot. So I'm just trying to like just enjoy it.
How's that been though?
It's been good. It's been really good. Like today, on my computer, it was quiet. I think you were in here, probably on the phone or something. So, I was just doing that, and that was pretty good. Really relaxing.
Do you? This might be a personal question. Do you feel like you're evolving?
Yes,
You do?
I think so. Yeah, I do. I think so. I mean, not a lot, but I feel like I evolve every day, though. But more in a positive way. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say that. Do you feel like you're evolving, or?
Yeah, I feel like this week has been like a transformative week.
Why so?
Like, as far as like my vision, I've been able to be a little bit more intentional. Like that's a key thing. Like being intentional with my time and not spending it in areas that are waste. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the other part is about like not feeling so guilty about like how I spend this is the first week. It's almost over a week. And I've been putting in practice about how to stay present, which I already been putting that in practice. But now what's been happening is that it's almost like I can see things more clearly as far as like time that I'm wasting that I didn't even know I was wasting.
Yeah.
Or, the quality of work that I put out when I am doing something, or just having something to wake up for in the morning. Cause I used to wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, what do I want to do today?
Yeah.
But now I actually have directive, like understanding. There's actually there's a word, interesting word. All right, we could do word of the day on this one.
Oh yeah. What's that?
Okay, reify.
Reify. Okay, what does that
Yeah,
mean?
it's a really good word. Reify is when you turn something abstract to real. Like from abstract to concrete.
I like that.
So when you reify something, that's when you take something that's just an idea, like what you do with your pallets. Like take something from an idea and you put it into like something like real that you could touch, tangible.
Yeah.
So from abstract to concrete is like reify.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a lot of that because I just focus on what my actual goals are. I didn't do this over complicated way of like, I mean, I could do better with it, but like vision boards and things like that.
Yeah, we should definitely do that this year. I know we said that in past episodes because we kept calling it something different. Mood board, dream board. I don't know
Dream
what it
board or
was.
something like that.
It was something, but it was not a vision board. But yeah, we should definitely do that this year. Actually, we should host like a small host. Just like a little small thing. Everybody wear masks, and it'll be like hosted by Blythe's Pretty Pallets. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying. I just think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because, cool. Actually, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You could do the pallets. To see, are you talking about like that? Like set up like a little small event?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Right. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Indoor or what you want to do?
Probably indoor. That's why I say everybody wear masks. I think it's going to be cold, coming, in December or whatever. But
ooh, how you adjusting? How you feel about the... I know it's hard because, you just started and it's already hitting winter. So it's not really your season.
It's not my season. But I don't know if I told everybody that I actually hosted my first event. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
good job. Tell us how was it?
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was such an amazing feeling because I thought of this idea maybe like 2 months ago, and then I sucked it up and I said, you know what? The Instagram may hate me. They may not like it, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And then I think October 1st is when I like pushed out my first photo. And then I had my first event November 7th. So a little bit more than a month. So it was just crazy. And, it was just such a great experience.
Were you like on high?
I was like high. Yeah, that whole day I was high. Well, okay. So the beginning of, before we got to the event, I was so stress and I had so much anxiety because it was like everything that you could think of that could go wrong went wrong. And it was like we were already running late, but luckily something was happening, so we really wasn't late. We actually arrived early.
Yeah.
It's like everything that went wrong, but then it started to work out in our favor. So, you know, I started not to stress about it anymore, and we arrived. And
hold on, before you even talk about us arriving, there's a part where we had these pallets, and look, something happened with like the Range Rover.
Oh my god!
Which is that's how she was gonna deliver it. So she's gonna just pack up the whip, head out there,
exactly,
and then next you know something happened like with your shocks.
Yes, so my shocks went out on my way driving home like 3 or 4 days before the event. So I was like, why now?
Yeah.
You know, why did my shocks just randomly go out while I'm driving?
Yeah.
So then now here we are brainstorming. Okay, what are we gonna do? We have the event in like 3, 4 days. I think my shocks went out on Wednesday. The event was Saturday. We're like, okay, what are we gonna do? Okay, so we have multiple cars, but they're all like small cars. And so we packed up 2 cars, but man, when I tell you those pallets, they're big, you know, and we had to put 4 in one vehicle, a 2-door car, y'all. And it took us maybe 15, 20 minutes to put it in, but we had to take the back seat out.
Yeah, we had to unscrew,
not lay down. Unscrew the back seat out to jam these pallets in. And we jammed it in, and guess who had to drive that car with the pallets jammed in with me?
You're right up on the steering. Ooh.
Yes, the driver's seat was pushed almost all the way up to the steering wheel. So I had to drive 35 minutes to the event, like literally on top of the steering wheel. I could barely change gears. Like I could barely hit gas and the brake. But not even that. So, but luckily we packed it the night before. So we were prepared, y'all. We were ready. Morning of. All right, well, the tire doesn't have any air and the car doesn't have any gas. Great.
Yeah.
You know? And then, so we get to the gas station. And
you're trying to be cool at this moment.
I'm trying to be cool.
You're trying to be cool.
I'm trying to be understanding.
I can see it a little bit, but you're like, oh, no, it's no biggie.
Yeah,
Babe, don't worry about it.
And the crazy part is, y'all, right before we got in the car, you got a call from a customer wanting to book an appointment, which takes you like, you know, you're on the phone, and this guy was like.
You heard him.
Yes, talking, being best friends and bonding. I was like.
Asking questions, and you're over here trying to be calm. Like, we're already kind of late.
We already late. And I was just like. I'm trying to be calm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so.
Oof, this is already anxiety.
Yeah, it was giving me anxiety.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to be a good sport. So then we get to the gas station and we go to put air in the tire, and we realize this gas station they had the air thing.
Yeah.
But they didn't have, I guess somebody's going around gas stations and they're stealing the piece that goes into the tire to fill it up with air. I'm assuming somebody's stealing it.
I bet some local mechanic was like, just go to Quick Trip.
Right. We went to 3 gas stations and a car wash trying to fill up our tire with tire with air. We finally find one, and it took forever to fill it up. Forever. We were probably there for maybe, I don't know, it might have been 10 minutes, but it felt like an hour.
Yeah, it was very stressful. Yeah.
Very stressful. But luckily, the girl who was throwing the party, she called me and was like, hey, the cater's running late. Y'all take y'all time. I'm going to even go run errands. Just call me when y'all on y'all way. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Because we were already late. We were like an hour late. And she called me. She's like, y'all take your time. Everything's going to be pushed back about 30 minutes to an hour anyway. I'm like, cool. And now I'm not even stressed out. I'm like, good. We getting there early now, you know. So we drive 35 minutes to Rowlett,
yeah.
And it was really beautiful. I've never been.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it was like this huge, beautiful lake. It was so beautiful. And I'm just like praying that we get there. But the crazy part is what I never told you is that you made a joke saying that hopefully the car can make it there.
Yeah. When
you said that to me, I was like, that is the worst thing you can ever say, because I had to drive that vehicle. Because it hasn't been driven in like, 2 months? Maybe?
Yeah.
So, you know, it was just like a lot of crazy stuff. But once we got there, we were able to set up.
Okay, was that?
It was beautiful. It was so great.
Because the spot that your client chose was this like almost was designed.
Yes, for this.
Yeah, for that.
Yeah, because they had like, it was near a lake, and then there's like a walking trail, so people are constantly walking and exercising. So it's like a cute little park area that's right down the street from her home. So it was like the perfect area. There was trees, water. The weather was perfect. Like, it was perfect.
Yeah, it couldn't have been more perfect.
Couldn't have been more perfect. It may have been like 77 degrees
yeah.
outside.
Oh man.
Yeah, so she picked like the perfect day to have her picnic. And then so yeah, we set up, and then my helper over here, my handsome helper.
Yeah, I was really, hey, look, I was in there really pure labor. I was like, all right. And here's the thing. I wanted to make sure that I was like almost like your employee.
Yeah, that was kind of weird too.
Yeah,
because I'm over here telling you what to do. I was like, I feel bad.
Babe, can you give me this? And then like I'm taking like the picture so you can have like content, you know,
exactly.
and you know, just helping where I could like fit in. But once you laid down the pallets, it was pretty much like
that was it after that.
Yeah, you're like boom, boom, boom. And here's the crazy part: like we budgeted, and by budget I mean we put it in our like I guess plans that okay, this is what's going to be on the table. This is for her, and then in our backyard is where you place everything.
Yes,
we didn't account for wind.
No, we didn't,
because our walls in our backyard are pretty high. So there's no. Has there ever been like a wind issue?
Not
I mean,
really.
maybe for that little for the flower wall, not the flower, but the grass wall.
Yeah.
So when you got there, when the wind kicked in.
It was crazy because we had the table set up. So it took us about 45 minutes to do the table. And so everything was done. We're taking pictures. Everything was fine. But then like, it seemed like as the girls were on their way, the wind picked up.
Yeah.
And
while
so,
they were arriving, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
My centerpieces were falling over, and we had to kind of like, okay, what can we do to get it from falling over? And we immediately thought, okay, we need to fill the vases with like sand. We're looking around. We're like, there is no sand. But then you spotted like sand on the side of the road, or
sand.
So we immediately grab a spoon and we just scooping it up and putting it in the vases. It was just like you had to think on the spot.
It's very entrepreneurial. Like this whole thing. Continue.
Yeah, I hope so. But so we're like, kicking the sand and making piles of it. And we're scooping it up with the spoon and putting it in the glass, flower vases so they won't fall over.
Kind of ghetto, but it's okay.
It was kind of ghetto, but it was okay. It went with the ambiance. It was a boho theme. You got some sand. There you go.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad, but then eventually, I guess the wind was still a little too strong. So, things was like falling over, and you just hear like, oh my God, So I'm like running over there and fixing everything. But then I even thought of another game plan. I was like, okay, why don't I put these glass vases in these wooden, vases that aren't moving at all? And I had to, change some things around. So it eventually ended up working out to where nobody really noticed it, And then, they got it catered. We did a charcuterie board for them.
Ooh, man, this was...
Man.
Look, when I say people were driving by and said, wow, like with jaw dropped. And I know you're feeling like a little crazy because... I don't know. I was a little embarrassed too. Why?
I don't know. Like I was happy, but I was more, I guess not embarrassed, more like shy, I guess. I was like, oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
And it's like when you get so many compliments over and over, you're just like, oh, thank you. And then like, I know it's beautiful. And I'm like, thank you so much. And like, no, I love it. I'm like, okay, thank you. I don't know how many times I can say thank you. And after a while, I'm just like, I'm like a little embarrassed and shy about it.
But they were very honest. Like everyone who stopped by said, I've never seen this. Like they thought it was like some people thought it was like a comedy show. It's like, hey, y'all doing a comedy show or something?
Exactly.
I was like, nah, brother. Y'all doing a comedy show? I was like, come on now. Oh, okay, I thought it was a free comedy show.
I was like, if you don't go sit your butt down somewhere.
Keep jogging, bro.
Exactly. Keep on jogging.
Yeah, and then but a lot of white women, like the white women and like, I wouldn't say white girls, but
no, they were pretty much women. Yeah, I feel like
they're like, we need to do this. Like they're like, wow. And basically it was like, because they're little like groups, like mommy groups or whatever. Yeah. And then I don't think they ever thought to like have a girls' night out or something like that. But yeah, it was
right there on the lake where they live, so it was like perfect location. But see, even then when they were asking me for my information, I was like, damn, I don't have nothing to give them but my personal number. And so, that was just kind of like, oh, I guess, or, giving them my Instagram. But then one lady was like, oh, do you have a Facebook? And I'm like, I don't have a Facebook. I don't have any business cards. So that even kicked in. So immediately, like, I got home and I started my Facebook page, and she followed me.
Look, you're better than some other small businesses who lie. I was like, hey, do you have a card? Oh man, I'm sorry, I just gave my last one away. I was like, bitch, you ain't got no card.
I even told her, I was like, look, I'm just starting. I don't have any business cards, but you can follow me on Instagram, but then, I mean, one lady was like, oh, I have a Facebook. And I'm like, I even told her accidentally that I had a Facebook. So I was like, oh, let me go home and create this Facebook page real quick. And she followed me. So it was pretty cool. And I don't know, it was just such a great experience. Like, I was on such a high, and I just can't wait to do it again.
Let me make sure I fill y'all in on it. Is that when we left to let, them enjoy their event.
Yes.
So Bly's prepared to like head back at least like 30, 45 minutes before it's over.
Yeah.
And we get there. I'm talking about the food. Like, they tore up the food.
It up.
There was bottles
of
I'm talking
wine
about, they were
everywhere.
like, this was an experience.
Yeah.
And they said, I can't tell you enough. Like, it was shocking to see their reaction.
I know.
And how much they enjoyed themselves.
Exactly.
From this event. I was like, this is like transformative. It was like, it's just something different.
It was very different. And, she wanted to do a brunch. So, already brunch, you think, okay, dress up cute and all that. But I don't think the girls who she invited expected anything close to what they saw. When they all pulled up, they were just like shocked, blown away, took a million photos.
And how small is it? How small of a world is it that my homegirl from middle school was a caterer? Yeah.
That is so crazy. It's such a small world.
Small world.
So crazy. But it was such a great experience. So that definitely gave me the high that I needed, and it confirmed everything that I wanted to know. Like, is this the business for me? Like, should I be doing this? And I loved every second of it.
I don't know any part of it that you just weren't like enthralled.
Man, every second. And she told me like she wanted it to end at 4:30. So, me, I'm like hitting up at like 4:32. I'm like, hey, no rush. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to feel like, oh, it's 4:30. I need to tell her, come get her stuff. And I'm just like, no rush. Y'all take your time. I just want to let you know. Just hit me up when y'all done. Like, I just want them to just enjoy it, And then we ended up getting there, and I think they were done like around 5 o'clock or something like that. So I was like, man, I love this. Like, I'm ready to quit my job today.
Yeah, you should be really proud of you. You actually said that. Remember you said?
I did.
You said, babe, like, I think like I could do this day in and day out.
Yes.
And you could do this like, yes, like I could
all
do
day,
this.
every day.
Wow.
Because I love the fact that it's my idea, because I asked her what theme does she want. And she said she was thinking of a boho theme. I said, okay, what about these colors? She's like, yes, great, perfect. Like, literally all you have to do is tell me what you want, where you want it, and what time. And that's it. I really don't have anybody telling me what to do. Everything else is what I'm coming up with and how I'm creating it and designing it and putting it together. And it's just all me. And I'm like, I love this feeling. I've never had that feeling before.
What do you think you could take, like, what's a takeaway that you got from, like, something you learned from, like, your first?
Well, for me, it was just kind of like, things happen. Just be patient. Just don't dwell on it,
Like being patient with yourself?
Being patient with myself, yeah. Like, everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. You're going to have hiccups, but don't, like, be so hard on yourself about it. And then also just kind of, like, thinking on your feet. When things were, like, flying around, that was, like, a lesson learned. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't put the flowers as high, or maybe I should buy a taller vase, or fill the vase before we put the flowers in because of the wind. Like, you start to, the things you don't notice, you start to notice it. So I noticed that. So it's just like learning from my mistakes. I feel like that was just like the biggest takeaway. But other than that, I think that it was just perfect.
Yeah, it was great. Like, the not only did it like the pack up, like packing everything up.
Yeah, it was
we were nervous about that too.
We were, because the pallets.
Yeah.
It took us like, it was very hard to put those pallets in, even though it took us like maybe 15, 20 minutes. But then we had to, when it was time to do the cleanup and put the pallets back in the car, it was like almost nighttime. Yeah. So that was an issue because it was very hard to see. And then when we were putting it in, it just seemed like that last one would not fit. And we're like, okay, what did we do to get them all in here? Like, we got it in here already. We took them out. We can put them back in. But why is it such a struggle? So we also learned that we need a company car.
Yeah. But the one that you have planned for yourself, do you want to tell them or no?
I do. Because if I tell you, you got to hold me accountable. And I would love to get this car. So my dream car is a Jeep Wrangler. Yeah. And I know everybody's like, oh, well, what about like a G-Wagon or like, like a Mercedes, whatever. And I love them all. I do. I love them all. Yeah. But a Jeep Wrangler is something that I dreamed about as a child. And, I love G-Wagons. I want that too. Just saying. Hey. But, put that out there too. But a Jeep Wrangler, like, they're big and they're just like masculine and they're sexy with the big tires and, have it raised and just taking the doors off and the top off. Like, that's me.
You're an outdoor girl.
Outdoor. I love summer. I love heat. I love wind. I love driving with the windows down. So this car is perfect for me and it's spacious. Yeah. And, we talked about getting like a trailer to put on the back so we can, be able to bring the pallets to the events and then also store it, So we came up with that and I'm like, I cannot wait. So immediately we talked about that. And then like an hour later, I'm already looking for Jeeps. I'm like, okay, where
she
can
sent
I
me
find
like,
one?
what do you think about this hard top or soft top? I was like,
I'm ready, y'all. Look, don't tell me I could get a car and don't think I'm gonna do my research. I'm ready.
Yeah. Cause it's going to be a good gift,
Yeah, I'm excited.
But I'm wondering, like, maybe I should even discuss it with you because I'm like, when should I spring it on you,
Just surprise me. I like surprises.
Yeah.
It don't have to be like Christmas or like, it don't have to be for like a special occasion. It could just be like just because. I would rather come home one day and it's just sitting there. I'd be like,
It makes me wonder because, like, I wonder if it like should be the beginning of the year because you already kind of need it.
Yeah, I already need it for sure. Because, those small cars that we have, they definitely didn't. It's not gonna cut it.
Yeah, we got to get rid of those or sell them or something.
We got to, y'all. We have. I'm so embarrassed to even say. Yeah. 2 cars that we don't even drive.
Yeah, they're just there.
They're just there.
And even worse is that one time one of my employees, he was having issues with his car, so we gave him. Our car, after we got brand new tires, everything was smooth. But when I said it drove like butter.
And this car is a car that I purchased brand new, 2008. Never had any issues with it besides the tires needing to be aligned. That's pretty much it. And we let him borrow it. Man, he gave that car back to us.
Oh, shaking. I was like, why is it shaking so hard? And I called him. I said, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, what's going on, Michael? I said, hey, did you notice anything with the car? He's like, no, drove perfectly to me. I was like, perfectly?
You are a liar.
I said, this thing is rattling. Man. I said, he's like, oh, I have no idea. I was like,
tripping. I got on the highway and then like once I hit 60, I said, nope. I turned around and went right back home. I was like, nope. I was like, I'm not driving this car. Like it went from driving pretty good. I mean, it is a 2008, but I bought it brand new and it drives really well. Like every time my mom comes to town, she don't even want to drive the Range. She wants to drive the Nissan because it just drives really well. She's just used to a small car too, but and it's a really good backup car, but for us to get it back, and I'm telling you, I'm driving it, and then I'm speeding up, and it's like the whole car is shaking. Yeah, I was like, I called you, I was like, babe, this car's shaking. I'm about to come back home, and I had to drive back home. I was like, what happened? Did he hit a pothole or
I was like, this need alignment or something? Like,
and I just got an alignment and I got brand new tires on it like a couple of months before we got
the brand new tires, but the alignment they didn't have. The machine was broken.
No, that was for your car. That was for your car because I know for sure I ended up getting an alignment. Actually, they told me I had to have one because I was getting new tires, but. Man, I was so upset. Now, so that car's just sitting there. So
that's what we got to get rid of. We got to get rid of that one, just because it's just taking up space.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of sucks though, because like it's kind of nostalgic for you, right?
Yeah, it's my first car.
Man, and it's really good condition. Inside is nice. Like
I didn't get into an accident with it. Like I took really good care of that car. Like I washed it, and I mean. I took it for oil changes. I put gas. Like you know what? It was my first car. I paid for it, so that was like the biggest purchase I ever had in my life. And I took really good care of it. I didn't let anybody in my car. Like I wasn't that type of friend who just had a pile of people in my car and we just driving from place to place. Like, no, I was very picky about my car. So I was very proud of it, and I still am. And I think that's why it's so hard for me to get rid of it, because it's still in good condition and it's my first car, know?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's special.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because, but we got to get rid of it though.
I know. Taking up too much space.
Yeah. But today, because you're off today.
I was off today.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I enjoyed it. I made me a good old breakfast and did some little research, and I'm Christmas shopping. I started Christmas shopping just in case we get another shutdown and I can't go out, and buy, or Amazon takes 10 weeks to, ship. So I'm starting my Christmas shopping, and then we went out to lunch. Yeah. Which was, so it was an experience.
Oh, to True Kitchen.
Yeah, we went to True Kitchen.
I don't know. Should we tell the truth about True?
Yeah, we should. Well, okay. So I had asked around when you mentioned, hey, let's go to True Kitchen. I'm like, cool. I had asked around my coworkers and stuff, and I was like, hey, have y'all heard of this place? And they're like, oh yeah, it's really good soul food. And then one person said, oh yeah, it's Black owned. I didn't hear about that. I was like, okay, cool. I would love that. And then another person said, yeah, but I heard the service is trash. I'm like, well, we'll see, So we get there and we drive by it first. Yeah. And we look in because it's glass all around it. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people in there. There's a lot of Black people in there too, And so we park and we go in, and I'm telling y'all, today is Tuesday. We went at 2:00. Yeah. That place was packed.
Jam packed. I was like, whoa.
It was packed.
And mind you, whoever's listening, we're in peak season right now for COVID-19 in Dallas, Texas.
In Dallas, Texas. We walk in with our mask on. It's super packed. I'm looking around and my heart's beating. I'm so upset. I'm more upset than anything. And I'm just like, why are they letting all these people in here like that? No social distancing. Every table is filled with people. It wasn't table here, skip a table. No, it wasn't that. Everybody was sitting next to each other. And you even asked them how does this work with the whole COVID thing? The hostess couldn't even come
she was
up with
just
a good excuse.
She looked like the jig is up, but then also she had no answer.
No answer. And she was like, oh, well, this tablet that we use, it's already integrated in the system.
She made no sense with that.
That made no sense.
Yeah, we disinfect this tablet and we actually sit people around. I was like, what are you even saying?
She didn't make any sense. She was fumbling over her words because they don't practice social distancing in that restaurant. And so, even the bar, everybody was sitting, and there were 2 police officers sitting at the bar too. And I was just like, what is this place? Yeah. It was just, all the employees had on masks. I will say that, but people in the restaurant did not have on their masks, which I get it because you're eating, but at the same time, no social distancing. It was packed on a Tuesday at 2:00. And so when they went to seat us, I was very concerned. I was like, okay, where are we going to sit? So this restaurant is split into 2. Yeah. But it's still it's a whole restaurant split into 2.
Continue saying what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. But so we get there. So we're she's about to seat us, and I'm just kind of concerned, okay, so where do you plan on, seating us? She's like, oh, well, we're going to seat you in this other, side of the restaurant. I'm like, okay, cool, because there's really nobody over there. And then she sits us at the bar. I was like, no. Can we get a table? And I want that table in that corner all the way over there.
Yeah, I saw that corner too. I was like, why don't we just sit over there? But yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, can we sit there? There's nobody around. So there was nobody, we were in the corner next to our, to our left, there was a window, and to our right, there was an empty table. So I was like, can we just sit over there? I'm not sitting in no bar, know? So then we sit down, and then they did sit. It looked like a mom with her newborn, and then I'm assuming the grandmother. Yeah, they were sitting to our right. So I felt comfortable because I'm like, I know they're not out here in the streets if they have a newborn baby, and she's an older woman, the grandmother. So that made me feel more comfortable that they didn't just sit, anybody next to us. But the food.
I'm just waiting for you to.
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. You know what? I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. So we got crab cakes, 2 for $25. First off, these crab cakes, they weren't like $25. They were not. They were just big old crab cakes that they looked like they just bought from the grocery store, and they overcooked it. They overcooked it. So I was like, why are these even $25? I think it was 15 for one, 25 for two. So we got that. It was okay. I don't even know if I should say it okay. It was edible.
Yeah.
I would say that. It was edible. Then we ordered these drinks, and the drinks were really expensive. I think they were like $15 each. And I guess the reason why it was expensive because you got a strawberry margarita, I think.
Yeah, strawberry margarita.
And I got like this peach frosé, but they were in the glass bottles. Like I had the Douce, I guess.
Yeah, the Douce bottle. I
and
had
you
the Patron.
the Patron bottle. So I guess that's why.
But see,
they're
it's not like they made it in the bottle and like cracked open the bottle just for this drink. You know, they bust. They save all the bottles. They put a straw in the bottle.
Exactly.
And they say, here you go.
Exactly. But the drinks were good. I ain't gonna lie. The
drinks were good. Yeah.
And then we ordered our meals. So I got the pork chop, which was expensive. I think the pork chop was it wasn't. It was like $13, but I didn't know it came with two. So I got two pork chops.
$13?
It was $13 for pork chops.
Okay.
And then I got a side of collard greens and a side of candy yams. Mind you, the sides start at 7.
And the side,
7.
you know the ice cream scooper?
Oh my God.
The ice cream scooper that is about that size, a dollop ice cream scooper for the greens and the candy yams. So yeah.
$7 each. I was like, what is this? You know? And then you got the catfish.
Yeah, I got the catfish.
Catfish with, I mean, yours was really good.
It was really good.
You had like the rice and you had a side of greens and collard greens.
I don't know what was in the greens though. You know what I mean?
That was a smoked turkey.
No. It looked like on the side of the fish, there was like these little cubes.
Like,
Was that like sweet potato or something?
I don't know. That was, are you talking about
like squash maybe or something?
Maybe.
Oh.
I didn't see it. I just saw that you had like the red pepper, yellow peppers, and maybe greens.
Yeah, maybe it was that. Because I told the woman, I said, do y'all have the little, like the sauce? Because she said it was just catfish. And what size? I was like, man, I want it on top of a bed of rice with like some like can you get it smothered? And she was like, I don't think they do that. Or I'll talk to them. I was like, nah, don't do it. Just leave it the way it is. They come. It's like, because it's on a bed of rice and it has like the smothered stuff. I was like, do you not even know the menu?
She didn't know the menu. And I ordered smothered pork chops and I didn't get smothered pork chops. So then I told her about it and she brought me a cup of gravy to pour on my pork chops. So I was just like, what is this place?
Yeah.
So we ate that. I mean, I was pretty full. I ended up leaving one pork chop. You ate all your food.
But let me tell you what I think.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you think about it.
The issue, the bigger issue. Look, let me say the positive.
Okay.
I love the restaurant.
Yes.
I like its location.
Oh yeah, it was downtown.
Yeah, it was downtown. It wasn't that difficult to park. Has good location. The location itself is very open and very like industrial.
Yeah, it was cute on the inside.
Yeah, and it looked like when I walked in, I was like, this is a pretty nice club. Like the bar looked good.
Could be a club.
Yeah, so the bar looks good, and they have like little places for events. I'm like, this is actually well done, right? Yeah. But you have to wait till the dust settle.
Gotta wait till the dust settle.
And I realized that they had a bar environment. Or a bar atmosphere with 5-star restaurant prices.
Exactly.
Not for maybe the pork chop, but okay, we got a drink each, right? And then I got an entree, you got an entree, and then crab cakes to begin with. So you telling me that we're spending $143 for lunch?
Yeah, for lunch.
For lunch? I said, damn, this is high. I said, this is for lunch.
This was, and it did give you like that club vibe, but it was more like, a Sunday brunch vibe, because the music was like popping.
Yeah, it was bumping. Yeah.
On a Tuesday at 2:00, I felt like we were in a club. I really did. But it didn't feel like no Tuesday lunch. Like they should do lunch specials.
Yeah, but then you got guys in basketball shorts sitting right next to us.
That was confusing too.
So then you're like, okay, where's the pricing here? You know?
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
So that's the part where like that always ends up happening. It happens a lot with black businesses where we gourmetify.
Exactly.
Like we'll take the hot dog and then we'll put in some bread, put some like relish or something like that. We'll garnish it.
Bits.
Yeah, and they said, all right, $17. Like $17. This is Oscar Mayer. Exactly. Like you didn't make this. It's like, it's gourmet and the bread is artisan. I'm like, come on, bro. So I felt like they they were trying to project like high end.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the customer service was not there. You know, the menu was not consistent with the theme.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And it's funny. This is just petty. I don't even want to mention it. That picture.
I love petty.
Yeah. That they had this picture where it's like Diddy, Jay-Z, all
Swiss
the
Beats.
Swiss Beats,
All the greats.
all the great Kanye, all laughing. I'm thinking, did they take that here? And then Bly was like, they couldn't have taken it here because this place just opened, and there's Cassie in that photo. And I said, "Oh yeah, Cassie." He's like Cassie now, you know, married, with kids, with a child.
She ain't with Diddy no more. So I'm like, that picture old, so I know they ain't take that picture here, you know, man, because you had all the guys sitting at the table, you know, Diddy and you know, Jay-Z and their wives was standing behind them, or girlfriends. So when I see Diddy. But I look up and I see Cassie. I'm like, they didn't take this picture here. They not even together. They haven't been together in a couple of years. So I was like, why they even put that up there?
It's just little tiny things. So and look,
funny.
But see, overall, they did make up for it with the quality, the taste of the food. Bly's food wasn't that great. But look, see, you've been having a hard time this last week. You know, we went to Flower Child.
My favorite place.
Yeah, and it wasn't a home run.
It wasn't.
You know, so the fact is that I think we went one more place somewhere that I'm like,
we had the beignets. We got beignets before we went to Flower Child, and the beignets weren't good. They didn't even cook the beignets all the way through. Which, look, I'm a bread person. I can eat dough. Okay, I love bread. It doesn't even matter. So I still ate the beignets and enjoyed it, but I noticed that half of the beignet was raw. Like you could see, like it was dough.
Yeah, you could see the dough.
It was the dough.
Yeah.
You know, it was like half of it didn't even touch the grease, but I still ate it. I still ate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I was hoping that this was gonna be like worth it, you know, because we're dependent. Like we're like, okay, do we do Flower Child where we know it's gonna be fire? It's gonna
be banging.
So we was like, all right, let's do True Kitchen.
Yeah, try something new.
I'm glad we tried something new.
I'm glad we tried it.
Yeah. But I just wasn't completely satisfied with the pricing. But everything else, I'm seeing like because there are nicer bars with less. You know, with cheaper prices. Yeah. So I just feel like if the prices were a little bit more consistent.
Don't make it look like a bar type.
Yeah, don't make it that. Like, you know,
it really felt like a club, but we're in a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah,
I'm like, very weird.
Yeah, it just didn't because the windows super clear, bright. Yes, the sun's just beaming in, and you know, so overall, I feel like that could have been a better experience if it was more consistent. Right. With what you see, the theme.
Yeah,
you know?
They should have a dress code.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in there dressy casual, and a lot of people were dressy casual, but there were a few groups here and there where, I mean, they had guys in gym shorts, like literally left the gym or they just finished playing basketball in gym shorts sitting at the bar. And it's just like, what's the dress code?
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
You know?
It was just
so confused.
what happens here, you know?
Yeah, it was very confusing. But I mean, I'm glad we tried it. We, you know, could check that off our list. Will I be back? Are you going back, babe? I ain't going back.
I don't know if it's something that I want to. I'll give them another try. But the only part that I don't know if I could get over is the price.
It was too
expensive. Yeah, it was like I get it, you know, it's hard and you got to like pay for everything, you know, just to make it a certain environment. Yeah. But when you're talking about, I don't know, it just didn't seem right. Like you're talking about almost $10 for an extra bowl of rice. That's white crazy. Rice,
just in a small little cup of it.
Yeah, too. I just can't justify it, you know.
Yeah, it was over the top. And then what threw me off too is when I said this place is. I told the hostess, I'm like, this place is like really packed, and it's only Tuesday. And she's like, oh, this is slow for us. I'm like, every table is filled. Yeah. What are you talking about? This is slow for y'all. Like, it's packed in here. So you just told on yourself. You basically telling me that y'all just be up in here and like partying while we got all this COVID stuff going on. I was like looking at her like, oh, my stomach was just like turning upside down.
I gotta admit, because you know, last night me and Bly were so I put Bly onto the Clubhouse and we're listening to for almost 2 hours, like an hour and a half about COVID. It's a room talking about the whole COVID-19. A lot of people in that group were from Dallas, so it was very relatable as far as what's happening and what's happening around the country. But the fact that after listening to like the different stories and listening to the doctors and listening to like their experience, we're like,
we're kind of like on alert. It kind of reminded us like, March time where we're oh man, like a shutdown's coming. And they're like, yeah, a shutdown's coming because it really is that bad. But then, like going from listening to that group to going to
seeing this, being exposed
seeing
to
that,
this.
I just felt like, man, am I part of the problem? You know what I mean?
And that's why I always say I have to be reminded that we're in a pandemic, because we wear our mask when we go out, and we don't go to like large groups and all that. We went to one birthday party and we even felt sick while we were there in Oklahoma. Ever since then, we don't even participate in anything like that. So, to see what is adding to the problem, like this restaurant where there's so many people in there and no one's wearing a mask or social distancing. I'm like, I see why we're in the predicament that we're in. I understand it now, because, I go to work every single day and I'm wearing, I'm wearing my mask. So I don't see what people are doing except on social media, where I see people going to the clubs and all that stuff. But to actually witness it with my own two eyes and be there and be like, y'all really up in here doing this? And then to tell me, oh, this is one of our slow days. Like, this ain't even busy for us. I'm like, this is crazy.
So what we doing for Thanksgiving? Like, how are we breaking this down?
I already told y'all, look, I'm wearing a mask, I said we need to wash our hands before we get there. Have that door open, because, your parents have like that patio door. Yeah. So open that patio door, let some fresh air in.
I've never been this nervous about something so joyous, right?
Exactly. This is our first gathering, because we didn't do Easter. So yeah, this probably would be our first like family gathering. And I know your mom said it's just gonna be us, like it's not gonna be like the whole family, but still,
we should be okay. That'd be okay.
It'd be fine. But it still just makes me nervous. Like, it doesn't make me nervous to catch it. It makes me nervous to give it to somebody.
Yeah.
I would hate to be, I would hate that finger pointed at me like, Bly, you were the reason why we got sick. Like, I don't want that on me, So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna wear my mask, and I usually social distance anyway, especially when we're at your parents. I make sure I'm like, in the corner somewhere. And then when I see them getting close, I'm like, hurry up and going to the other corner of the room, just because I just don't want to be that one person who gets somebody else sick. I just don't want that.
Yeah, we heard about this. I don't know. I heard the story today about this woman who went to a funeral, but she had COVID, but she didn't want to tell anybody.
Wow.
Because she just felt like, obviously probably embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
She spread it amongst her family, and then like 2 of them died.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, man, this is
like, how could you live with that? Knowing that you were the reason why 2 people died because you knew you had COVID, or you knew you had symptoms, but you still went out to that funeral. Yeah. She could have wore a mask. Oh,
that's hard, right? And you got like this one young lady was in the group talking about how she's potentially going to a wedding in the next few weeks that are going to have 200 on the guest list indoors. I was like, 200?
And she's the bridesmaid? Or maid of honor?
Maid of honor. Yeah. And, they said they cut that down from a list of 400.
Yeah, to 200
but,
people.
There's a level of, what do they say? Like her feelings towards it. Like she has an attachment to it because her mom passed away.
The bride's mom.
Yeah, the bride's mother passed away. And like, I think it was one of the things that she's had a hard year. And she finally just wants to have like family around. And a good time finally. And they're like, well, you can't do it like this.
Right. I mean, the only way you can pull it off is everybody has to take the test maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks before, and then they would have to quarantine like the last 2 weeks before they go to the wedding. And
you
then
think everyone at the wedding is going to quarantine themselves?
No. Kim Kardashian said that. She said for her, I think it was her birthday party, they all flew out, like, I don't know, somewhere in Mexico maybe. But she said that everybody that she invited, they had to have taken a test, and they had to be self-quarantined for 2 weeks before they came. So.
That's not bad. I could see that with her.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
they work for you, so.
This is true. But I think they would be able to do it for the wedding. You would have to show proof that your test was negative, but then you can't tell somebody to self-quarantine for 2 weeks and, have negative results. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. Is it even worth it to do all that just to go to somebody's wedding? To me, no. Like, I would just send a video.
You're anti. So did that group change your mind about the whole thing, or is it more like you've been aware, you've been feeling like this?
No, I've always felt like, I've been feeling like this, but it does, like, You know, listening to that group just reminded me like how serious the
yeah,
situation
it did.
is. Even though I know how serious it is, but I needed to be reminded. That's why I keep saying over and over. I keep forgetting that we're in a pandemic until I hear somebody talking about it. I'm like, oh, we are in a pandemic.
I feel really bad for teachers.
I know.
You know, they said teachers are quitting early, retiring early, and that they said they don't know what to do. The superintendents don't know what to do because they're stuck like this. They said that teachers are literally cooking 3 meals at once, trying to get, you know, there's so many different things they have to do. The online, the students that have special needs, and then they have the in-class students. They have to balance and have curriculum, or not the what is the thing that they set up for class or whatever? I forgot.
No,
yeah, I don't. It's not curriculum, but it's like curriculum. But basically, they set that up for them, you know, every day, and these teachers are being overwhelmed, you know, and no one knows what to do about it because like the only option is for everyone to come back to school, but they know that that's gonna be
horrible. I mean, I get it. Like, I'm obviously not a teacher, but when the shutdown first happened and we had to homeschool the kids, ooh,
because you have to educate these kids. Think about it. This is like, I don't know if anybody knows how serious it is. If your kid is a year behind, that can mess up his entire life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you have to educate these kids. So you're literally stuck between having to educate people in a new way, but the new way is breaking you.
Yeah, exactly. You showed me a video of a blind girl who was doing homeschool because I'm assuming her school was shut down, and she had the AirPods in, so she's listening, but she can't see anything. Like the laptop is like pretty much closed.
Yeah, imagine the isolation.
Yeah, like she's just sitting at the kitchen table. She's like twiddling her fingers and stuff because like there's nothing to do.
Yeah, she's just there. There's nothing for her to look at. There's no screen.
Nothing.
So the fact that you have to adjust in this type of way is like, it's
crazy.
Yeah, because we aren't out, and they said that we're not going to get the. There's no stimulus coming at all for anybody.
Wow.
Until next year, so people got to rough it out for this winter.
Look, if you lived without the stimulus check for this long, then you know. Because I mean, we only got it once this year, so. That was what, in the summertime or whatever that was. So if you were able to survive without it for all these months because a stimulus check, that ain't enough for people. Yeah. One stimulus check, what is that supposed to do? You know, that can't even pay people's rent. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are people even surviving right now? Like, it's just.
I know. I wonder how are people. You know, because I'm hearing people's stories and they're like, I got fired, I got let go. You know, it's hard for me to like find a job. Some people are saying I've been unemployed since February.
That's crazy to me.
I'm like, damn, to go like 8 months without
almost
working,
a year.
Like without just chilling at home. That's just like, I don't know. And then like what it does to your ambition, what it does to your like motivation of just chilling at the house. I mean, I know what it did with mine. Yeah. It took a while. Look, I'm just now getting back to like what I was before because it feels so good to just lay in a nice cozy bed, you know?
It does. Look, you already know. The listeners know. I mean, if you've been listening since the beginning, I hated every part of the quarantine. Look, I was so ready to go back to work, you know, so.
There's a part where you almost had like I'm not sure if like almost a breakdown, but it was like, this is too much.
It was bad. Like after maybe 2 weeks, the first week I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm at home with the boys.
Oh,
and, you know.
Because of work.
Yeah, it was hard because I'm homeschooling the boys and then I'm also working from home. I was like, I don't even know how to even do this. Yeah. You know, you're like, oh, well, let's go take a walk with the boys. We'll walk and take, with the boys. And I'm on my phone doing work. Yeah. And I'm watching these videos and all that. I'm like, what is this?
That was wrong. Having her do like work from home for retail.
Like homework, basically. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like I work retail. What y'all got us doing? And then we had to have a Zoom call at least once a day. It was like a mental health check-in. Yeah. First of all, I don't even want to talk to none of y'all. You know what I mean? I don't want to look at none of y'all. Y'all forcing me to be on this Zoom call every day just to like check in. I was just like, man, this is so.
Yeah, that's really what made it. Because
that's what made it worse.
I told you early on. I learned you can't work and like watch the kids.
You cannot.
It's impossible.
It's so hard.
Yeah. So when that was happening for you, you were putting so much on your plate to try to like be super mom and make sure the kids are educated.
Yeah.
Make sure that, they're having fun and outdoor activity.
And they're fed at least 3 times a day.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, like already ready. I'm like, and then you just got burnt out like a few days in. You're like, this is not right.
It was too hard. It was too hard. At first it was fun. And then after maybe like that first week going into that second week, I was like, I don't even know.
Took us a little bit to adjust because you'll go in the bedroom, take a nap, just close the door. We'll switch out, and to think, we didn't get on each other's nerves. So that was a good part.
Not at all.
Like the boys, it was really like one of the best experiences. The hard part was just like the multitasking.
Yes.
For duties that aren't pertinent or urgent right now.
Exactly. Like I had to get used to making them lunch, because obviously they're in daycare. So that's one meal I don't have to give to them. I'm used to them, breakfast and dinner, but then I had to be like, oh my God, I got to feed them lunch and I got to cook them something. So it was very difficult. And then having to cook and homeschool them and do, work from home. It was to the point where I was like, all right, I'm about to download ABC Mouse on both of y'all, iPads, and y'all just gonna have to learn on your own. And it's crazy because it actually worked. It worked, because they were quiet and they were interacting with their iPads, and I mean, they learned a lot.
They did. Yeah.
They learned a lot.
Yeah,
I was actually really shocked.
I was really surprised by the whole thing.
Because they came out like writing and spelling and, they knew their vowels and how to add and subtract.
I said, why haven't we been doing this? Like this whole ABC Mouse thing is fire. Yeah.
I was like, what? They and the youngest Kenzo, he's 3 and he can add it's crazy. He can add and subtract. So I'm just like, y'all really learned a lot on this app. But then when they started charging me for the subscription, that's when I took it off I unsubscribed.
Man, so you talking about subscriptions? Well, you better get ready for Christmas season.
I know I'm getting ready.
Look, when we putting this tree up? So
I usually take it down. I take it out the attic the week of Thanksgiving. So probably next week Tuesday, I'm gonna take it down, start feathering it.
We got such a good tree. I love that tree.
I love that tree. I know. And then I usually do it either Thanksgiving morning. I'll put the tree up, or I'll put it up. Maybe like the day before, something like that. It's always like the week of Thanksgiving because I like to enjoy the holidays as they come. I don't want to skip, I don't want to skip Thanksgiving.
You think we need a bigger tree?
We don't need a bigger tree.
Maybe that's one word to use. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind one, but man, our tree is already
it's really big.
It's tall. I think our tree is 9 feet tall, maybe. I would love like a 12-foot tree. That would be kind of dope. But
I love the ones that look like
the skinny ones.
No. I like the ones that look. They look like the ones that the snow falls on, like the big heavy.
Yes. Yeah.
Like those that feather down, and it comes really low. But
we should get a real tree one year. The cleanup is a headache.
I hated it. Yeah. Our parents tried it one year. And the needles everywhere.
Yeah.
It smells good though.
It smells good, but that's about it.
Yeah. But even the stand is really awkward. Yeah. But I when it comes to like those like custom trees, you have ones that are like like $1,500, $2,000 for a tree, but it's like it's probably the most beautiful tree you'll see.
True, but to put that tree up and to take it down, you got to pay somebody to do all that. Even me, when I be putting that tree up, I'm like, man, this is a lot. Because I usually just do it by myself. Now that the boys are older, last year they were helping me put like ornaments on the tree. But I love putting a tree up because it's it's just something to do, and I'm just like,
you want anything special for Christmas? What are you looking forward to?
You know what? There's nothing that I want. It's nothing that I need except where there is this one thing, but I don't have to have it for Christmas.
What is it?
So there's this like piece that I want to add to the business that I can rent out.
You don't want to tell me yet?
I don't want to say what it is because I don't want y'all to hold me accountable, and it is fire. And I actually just saw it one day and I fell in love with it, and it is something that I really want to invest in for my business, and I think it'll be like a great addition and great rental piece. So that's really all I want for Christmas. But if you want to surprise me with anything else, I would gladly take it.
That's funny.
What about you? What do you want for Christmas?
Man, I don't want nothing. I really can't think of nothing.
You know what sucks? Not suck, but what sucks for me, not for you. Your birthday. Is the 19th, and then Christmas is right around the corner. I'm like, I just got him a whole bunch of stuff for his birthday. Now I don't know what to get for Christmas. I always get stuck every year.
The things that I like, like watches, wallets. I already got that.
Look at you dropping hints. Okay, I'm listening.
No, actually, what I really do want, I actually just might buy it myself though.
It's probably expensive.
A gold necklace, yeah.
Oh,
Not a lot. It probably like $750.
okay. Well,
$1,000.
don't do any shopping this year because don't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you trying to do it all? Get out of here.
Well, you don't know if I already have it or not.
Oh, that's true. Let's go.
Look, I said I already started my Christmas shopping. Just saying.
Nah. Well, I don't know.
And look at you. He's trying to pick my brain.
Yeah.
I ain't telling you nothing.
Yeah, you're really good with surprises.
This is true.
But I always feel weird because, I'll tell Bly, I say, Bly, I want these particular socks whenever you go. And she'll come home and say, look, I didn't get the socks you wanted. I got some that are better. I'm like, those aren't them. I was like, they're not better. Just get the exact ones.
And you know what I always tell women who like date men or whatever, even my customers, they'll come in the store and they want to like buy their husband like a new wallet or whatever, and then they'll be like, yeah, my husband, he picked out this one, but I really like this one. And I be telling them, which one did your husband pick out?
Yes.
And they're like, well, he picked out this one, but I like this one for him. I'm like, no, buy the man what he wants. And even me, I don't even take my own advice.
Because I'm like, but I want the quarter ankle ones that are right above the ankle.
Specific with your
and then
socks,
you're like,
though.
hey, look, I got you these ankle huggers. I'm like, ankle huggers? And then I'm like, all right, I need the ones that like protect my ankle. I just want something a nice grip. And then next time she's like, hey, I got you these knee highs. I was like, knee highs? I said, get the specific one. The specific.
And I feel like I know what's best
so
for you.
funny.
I know. It's
I'm like,
horrible.
what is going on?
I'm the worst when it comes to buying you socks. I just can't get it right. I don't know how many times I bought you socks, but every single time it's been wrong.
No, that's too funny because I'm like, can you just get the exact specific ones? You're like, I know, but these are better. I'm like, they're not.
I'm so embarrassed.
Look. That's a good dismount. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode as much as we did.
I'm so embarrassed.
I'm so glad you're back
I'm glad to be back.
to join us. Anything you want to say to the
everybody.
people?
No, I missed everybody. I really did. So I'll be back on more often, y'all. I'm excited.
Well, good. Well, great talking to y'all. We'll definitely catch y'all next week. We'll see y'all later. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
And remember, when there's ever a time in need that you can't contact anybody, just remember that you could be your own best friend. You could be your own best friend. Peace out.